A great question came in today from the Gym Owners Network, and it says, Steve, what type of financial or cash flow mistakes do you see gym owners making, and what do you recommend is best practice? So, a common mistake I see in the fitness industry is a gym owner that always reinvests their profit back into the gym. So when you open a new gym, you're fighting really hard to get your memberships and cover your rent and cover your wages and cover the loans on your fitness equipment. And you get to a point where you finally get to break even. It's actually a bit of a mistake to reinvest that straight back into things like equipment. And I see this happen a lot where you finally, after 12 months or 24 months, you make some money. It's your first quarter of profit. You race out there and buy a $10,000 leg press machine or a new toy for the gym. Now, there's a couple of reasons why I think that's a mistake. Number one is adding one piece of equipment to the gym rarely makes any improvement to your profitability or the success of the gym. It's more of a vanity type thing. Instead, a better use of that money is paying down your personal debt, so something like a home loan. It's also useful to upgrade your skill set. So maybe learning digital marketing or learning how to do ad copy or something like that. Or number three, it's using that money to reinvest into something like property or into like a tech company. So I'll give you an example. If you change that habit of, as soon as you see cash, buying more equipment or renovating the gym, and instead you invest into property, the types of things you want to do is invest into something that's a bit more passive than your business. So you would know in the fitness industry that it requires a lot of time and effort. So it's not 100% scalable. It's actually quite difficult to go from owning one gym to two gyms to three gyms, because you personally tend to be involved at least one day per week where you're pushing things along to make sure it works. So my recommendation is, when you take profit out of the gym, invest into an asset or into an investment that actually doesn't require you to be there. So I've invested into a tech company as an example, which obviously can have a really strong multiple, but it also is something that doesn't require me to be in there, 10 hours per week. I've invested into property a number of times where I can get, a rental income from that. I can get capital gain. Again, doesn't require a minute of my time. So I love the fitness industry. I love being able to maximize your return on investment in your fitness business. But I think once you actually take money out, it's best to try and look for like a passive style investment. Common mistakes I see, particularly in the franchise world, is when the franchisor of an Anytime Fitness or an F45 or these great brands put a little bit of pressure on the franchisee to buy local territories. So I often see a reasonably successful single franchise owner acquires a second franchise or a third franchise, and in a lot of cases don't make any more money despite doubling or tripling their expenses, doubling or tripling their exposure to risk, and rent and insurance and staffing and things like that. So first tip is, avoid the temptation to quickly reinvest back into the gym, and instead take some money out, pay down your home loan, invest into a coach, or perhaps even consider an investment like property or shares or something like that, which doesn't require more of your hours. Number two is, avoid the temptation or that perceived pressure to sometimes go out and get a second gym straight away. In a lot of cases, it would be more profitable to add an extra 100 members to your existing 24-hour gym in terms of profitability and lifestyle than it would be if you had two of those gyms with like 700 or 800 members. So you add 100 members to one gym, your profits go straight up, or you go and do the grind, you reinvest into another gym, you work all the way up to 700 or 800, but you're barely sort of covering the cost there. So resist the temptation to go and just set up a second, third, fourth gym when possibly there's more profit you can take from your existing gym to reinvest elsewhere.